And we are back again. I think I got that right. EFES Season 1 F... I think... Yeah, that's why I messed up. Season 1 F1 Division. That's the mess up. Deadpool made a mistake. Anyway. Oh yeah. Cornering names. Oh my god, that's confusing. Can they not just do a... Anyway. Hello everybody and welcome back to yet again another EFES race, or Grand Prix. I'm your host, Cooler, or Cooler Deadpool, whatever you want to say. And today, it's, what did I call, was it round 10? Yeah, it's round 10, isn't it? No, why did I put it race, no. I think, is it race 3? No, Deadpool's tripping. Did John call me out? Because I got no brain cells as well. It's not functioning. I think I made it to be a big mistake. Oh my god. Let's see here. Calendar. Who are we missing? We're actually missing quite a few drivers tonight. Two teams actually pulled out. One for some reason, and another one for the EA. Well, no, one for closing down. One team closed down, and oh yeah, so Spain and Belgium, since they were, oh yeah, it's World Cup. Anyway, so it is right. So yeah, anyway, hello again, welcome back to yet again another EFES round. Round 3 is the Hungarian Grand Prix tonight. And a lot of talking points tonight, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, two teams sadly withdrew. One because of the EA disconnections last week. Which, yeah, whatever. It's something that happens in the EFES with disconnections. Nothing we can control with the EA disconnections. And another reason was because of another team closing down, unfortunately. So we are actually only a few drivers tonight. It's not going to be a full packed lobby, which is a little make the best out of this competition. Anyway, of course, we're joining with Yanni. I remember this driver. Yanni's going to start off with him first lap, actually. And another talking point, new corner names. Which one of them is, of course, now going into Hamilton. I'm not 100% wrong. Then I'm not sure what this corner is called. I can actually check it out on Sky Sports. Yeah, okay, so that's turn 4. Turn 4 is called Manso. And Moyard is next. Turn 6, I'm not even going to say, but yeah, 7 and 6 called Driving Center. Which our friend Yanni is just done now. Turn 8 and 9 is called Budapest. Buda and Pest. Then you got turn 10, which he's coming up towards now, is Dunby. Turn 11, Assis. Turn 12, which Yanni is at now, with a little bit of traffic in front of him. There's a huge impediment for Yanni. Yanni being heavily impeded just before Schumacher. Turn 13, which was the turn where you had Ferrari strong. Turn 13, Senna, and then Cereces. And Yanni crossing the line with a 15.89. I think that would have actually been much better from the... Tyrone is going to let the Ferrari go. We'll move over to one of the Ferraris as you see one driver spinning. Legion just going past Zezes now. And yeah, he goes pole with a 15.2. I think that really upset Yanni. And his teammate goes second. Pascal Dill in DLS goes quick at the same time. FSD Tyrone set time as well. Yanni as well set time. Trixky is also not set time just yet. VX Emilio set time with 4. And his teammate Thomas setting it 16.2. So we do have a few other drivers. Another Haas coming through the line. We can not miss him. Well, there was a Cadillac. Yeah, there's a BMW. Nate Bennery. Sorry for the bad pronunciations. Maddie with a, as well, we missed that, 16.0. So we're actually missing a few drivers here, which is getting Julian will now go into pits. And Deadpool needs to calm himself down. Otherwise, he'll put himself to a heart attack. Trixky just finished up their lap. putting them to a 4th position with a 15.4. I won't bother about all these corners because I won't even remember them half the time. But we are going to go over to the cars because that's something actually we do want to watch. And a few other drivers actually setting times now. We have a Tyrant FSR. Tyrant going to go for a lap now and he sets a 16.1, which pushes him at a well-respected 8th place. Do apologise for stressing. But Nate Bennery going for has a purple sector by the looks of it. Don't know if it's a glitch, but he's really pushing it through Chelsea, wherever you want to call that corner. Last corner, turn 14, onto the ERS mode, and he moves up to a well position of a P5 with a 15.6. Now the rest of the drivers will head into the pits, but that's a shame for our fellow first driver who actually did start this. Their qualifying lap was Yanni getting impeded by the Alpine, which is a little bit of a shame, but you get what you work with what you're getting. But I think that would have been 100% a pole because he had to absolutely throw the car into the corner, which not really well for that. Senna. That was called Senna. So yeah, for the people wondering. I do wanna I would add Gojo, lobby host, and talk to him. I'd message him in DMs, please, because it's better if he goes until so I don't miss any broadcasting updates. But yeah. Anyway, I do apologise for that. I'm gonna give myself a heart attack in a minute. But we're gonna go over to IRT Max Novotny, who is on a lap currently, going past Hamilton. I thought that was called Sunflower or something, turn 3. No, Spring, and then you got Mansell with quick. Goji. Gooji. I'd at him in chat. I'll try to add him in chat, because it's better if you get him. Sigurd. I wish I knew. And then, yeah, this is called, supposedly, Budapest. And then you got Donby. Oh, and there's a huge twitch from Max. Huge twitch. But he still keeps it going, so not. Got to give the driver credit. But he's got no ERS going into Schumacher. Following this turn 13 is Senna, which I've learned recently. And up next is Zaziz. How you want to pronounce it? Hungarian, I do not know. But it's looking very strong. It's going to be into the 16s. No, a 15.9. I'll underestimate Maxi. I do apologise for that. Anyway, up next, of course, is the Cadillac, or VMV Julian, who's going to start their second representative of the time, or their first time of the session. I feel sad for your downfall, buddy. Anyway, and this is called Spring. Yeah, so that's Spring. But yeah, at least I remember a few corners. So, Mr. Julian now will, yeah, nothing, no problems. And now into Budapest. And I can't remember this one. This is the problem. But I know it's turn 8 and then 9. And then 10. I love the driver's actually going out now. So, there's Julian. He's actually quite going well. Into Schumacher. And then into Senna. And I just say turn 14 will be the final corner. Very tricky corner. Of course, this is a track we'll see hard to overtake on, which is the problem with it. But another problem is it's very consistent. You have to be very consistent here. Anyway, Julian slots down behind his teammate Nate Bonery. And up next we have another driver who is Thomas, who is starting their lap time. Second run. New softs. And then we'll actually go over see if anyone else is doing a lap. But Pascal, they're on the battery, going to start their new lap. And VMV Elias, but yeah, there's a huge crash in the impediment. between the Maddie receiving a where is Maddie? Maddie receiving a 3-second grid drop for straight lining into VX Elliott, who is Thomas's teammate, and I think that was a just complete miscommunication. And Maddie thought he was going to get away, but didn't. So that's unlucky, very unlucky for Maddie. Extremely unlucky being impeded like that. But that's actually something I was going to go up in here, is all the team names. F1 car. So we have an XR, I remember that. Anyway, Maddie driving for VRL, or WRL. Kind of reminds me of my old league. Anyway, enough about myself. Nate Berry is going to get out of the way of the fellow NVK driver, Cristobal Reese, who just started now. They were in lobby from the beginning, and he has invalidated, so no point watching him anymore. We're missing a few things, what's going on, but train is going to start the lap. FSR train. Can you add? I'd add cooler. It makes everything life so much more easier. I don't even think I can add you, mate. Yeah, I can only accept friend requests. So add cooler Deadpool, no capital letters. Cooler Deadpool, no capital letters. It says in chat as well. You have to be in the EFES thingy. Then again, I think I meant to add you. Possibly. Don't know why, Gojo. No. COOLADEADPOOL. It's in chat. If you're in the EFES group thingy, you should have the ad. You should know the name, because I have posted it before. So just have a look there. Because I won't add anyone if... I won't... yeah, this is the thing. Don't join late. It's bad. I don't like that because I don't know who to add. I don't know who to trust as well. Yeah, and there's Lurk as well spinning out of the final corner. That's very unlucky for Lurk. Setting that left on now. So now he will have to start again. I don't think he has the ERS, so he'll just pull into the pitch. GG for the Aston not moving out of the way. QDR. I'll try to add you. I'm not sure. I don't think I can even invite you. We're missing this. This is not good. I don't even know your name, bud. Is that it? Anyway, it doesn't matter if he joins, he joins. Yeah, anyway. This is the problem joining late because we're missing coverage then. Yeah, that's the thing, I mean. So it's just pro joke. And you're in QD. This is the thing, I don't trust, sorry mate, but I generally don't. Because I'll get the shit if something goes wrong, you know. So, and yeah. We're missing this and there's only 4 minutes left of quali, that's the thing. Why were you late though? I gotta give you that. Why were you late? And give me your EA again. Give me your EA, I need your EA. Pro Jog. And you're Jeremy for QDR. Yeah, it says you're in, yeah, it says, so it's just pro joke, right? I'll invite you. But I don't know if you'll get time for a lap. And we're actually missing this, so. Pro joke. There. You better hurry up. You're lucky because I take the shit if something goes wrong now. So, anyway, back to the coverage. Do apologise for that. VLS Pascal or Pascal Gill on the lap. We're going to start the lap. We actually did miss a little bit, but updating now. VLS running 1-2 yet again for another session. Trixky in P3 representing. God damn it. Representing XR. VX ART AERT in P4. Nate Barry VMV. ART Max Naventi. And ART Yanni, of course, not QDR. Then Julian, VMV again. And for some reason, Alexander Albon is here for WRL, which makes life 2 times easier. ART Simon joins as well. I see Project has also joined. Thomas driving for ART. Maddie again for WRL. Then the 2 FSR drivers. SKG Braddocks, we'll just call him Braddocks, and then Tyron as well in 13th and 14th. Lurk running for XR, and then also NVK Crystal Race, and just Project joining as well for QDR. We'll see who's the first driver and we'll go from that. Okay, so ART Emilio will be the final driver to start the lap. A few drivers are actually leaving the pits very, very late, so Emilio will have the best opportunity now to set a lap. He will have the opportunity to restart the lap if stuff were to go south, which we don't hope. Although the driver will have to get out of the way. We'll move over to Nate Bennery, who will start their lap as well, just now. And behind them is none other than Simon, who will start yet again the final run of this session. The 2 Ferraris, Corsa Ferraris, Legion, has just completed a lap. I think it's the start of a lap. Pascal trying to navigate through traffic. It's getting very hectic out there now. And Alexander Albon just going out of the pits. They will have a time to run. Simon as well on the lap. Thomas has also just started a lap going past into Hamilton. And that's a new placement for Pascal. The lap didn't... Yeah, the lap has been completed. So Pascal is provisional pole with a 14.9, which is extremely quick. Anyway, but the fellow driver is up on a time, but we'll move over now to VX Emilio, who is looking very strong through the first and second sector of the lap. Final corner now. What time can he set? It is looking promising. Is it going to be into the 14th? No, it's not. It's a 15.2, and VM Elliott moves up into third. Following this, we have Max, who's not on the lap. A few drivers are actually moving out of the way. Alexander Albon setting their lap time. ART Simon crossing the line, 8th for Alexander for him. A few other drivers. We're missing a few drivers, but we'll keep an eye on the board. Aston Martin again for ARET. Thomas going into the pit in frustration. Brandux for FSR, and his teammate as well. But we'll go over to Lurk, who is looking very comfortably quicker. And onto the battery. Lurk does not find any improvement. His teammate though, Projake, is on a lap now. So let's hope the QDR driver can find something, because this is their first lap of the session. Maddie is on an improvement, but remember, they will have a 3-second or 3-place grid penalty, and that's a big slide in the final corner, but it moves them up to 11th. So they will be down to 14th. Tyron is on an improvement, and where can Tyron place that car? It's in 11th, beating Maddie to it. Now down to the Alexander Albon driving for VRL. If I'm not wrong, what time can Alexander Albon set? Moves up to 12th, beating the teammate. So that's even further down for the teammate. Pro Jag, first lap of the session, puts him up to P15, beating Lurk, the teammate. Now going into the final Cadillac with VMV, Nate Bennery, moving up, staying in 5th, but no improvement though. Up next is possibly a Legion Ferrari Corsa. Will it be an improvement? Will it be pole? No, he won't. He will not deny his fellow teammate pole. Fellow other drivers on the lap? No, I don't think so. One driver did go into the pits, retiring now. And Elliot as well going into the pits. A little bit of dished it. I was on the 6th. Holy bottle. It is what it is. From the fellow driver of Project. But yeah, that's the two Ferraris representing VLS on pole with a 1-2, and VX Elliott running in P2, P3 for AIT, and then Trixie for XR in 4th position. So now let's see if I'm able to do the qualifying thingies, because last time I did struggle with it. Alright, first off, for VLS is Pascali, Legion in P2, Emilio in P3, Trixie in P4, Nate Bennery 5th, Max in 6th, Johnny in 7th, Baradux in 8th, Simon in 9th, Julian in 12th, 10th, Tyron in 11th, Alexander Albon in 12th, 13th goes to Maddie, Thomas in 14th, Pro Jake in 15th, Lurk in 16th, and Cristobal Reese in 17th. Of course, reminder to Maddie, it will have a 3-place grid penalty, which probably will drop them back to the back of the pack. But yeah. Now we will have to wait for the start of this Grand Prix. And we'll wait for the chaos incoming. Oh god, I hope not. If it says Pro Jag guy, he's gonna get smack. A proper one. Big one. Anyway, welcome everybody for watching this. It's nice to be having so many people in here. I'm trying to put my controller on charge, but it's not allowing me to. There we go. Okay. And we await and see the 5 red lights in Budapest. What are our predictions? I think the VM drivers are going to grab the pole for this. I think they're going to take the pole to a win. Don't know who's going to be who because they were very close in qualifying. They've done their homework for this Grand Prix. But I do not have the car thingy up again. And the turn thingy as well. But I can't remember every corners. Yeah, LGS are here as well. But IRT, I think they were the ones who closed. Because there are none of their drivers tonight here. LGS. FSR here. VLS are here. QDR, of course, are here. ART is here. IRT might be the ones who closed. I'm not sure about the other ones. No, IRT didn't close. They're still here. Yeah, they're in the lobby. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. VRM, I think, were the ones who closed. And then another driver pulled out. Yeah, we are missing, and I think we're missing the, oh, what are they called? Astons are here. N3RO, yeah, that's the team. I think I'm right with that. I'm not sure though. But we're waiting a good amount of time for the 5 red lights, which I don't particularly enjoy. And I do and there we go. Now we get the 5 red lights, and there's 3, 4, and 5. And boogity, we go racing at Budapest at round 3 of the F1 division. Good lord from Trixie, he's on the tail of the 2 VLS Ferraris, but they're going very defensive. And Legion takes pole. Trixton moving past both of them, now battling for P1 with an awesome throwback with a switchback as well. And a little bit of a lag spike there, but Trixie is battling for P1. Ghost mode is, of course, Trixie, but I think it's very much lag. And he's made it into P2, passing his fellow VLS comrade of Pascal. And everybody is unscathed so far, which is very, very surprising. Around the outside, tries Emilio for a move, but gets eaten up by Max of IRT. In the process, down he moves to 5th. He still goes, there's a huge contact between Nate Berry and the Emilio, so that's nothing really called for. Back of the pack, there's nothing really happening except for a few moves. Lurk moving down the position, I think Maddie as well. Side by side, Thomas and Lurk. Lurk going out on top. Contact between Lurk and Thomas, and that gives Maddie a past move. And that's Maddie up a position. Lurk and Thomas going absolutely hard for each other. Excuse me for that this sounds so wrong. They're battling hard against each other. Anyway, moving back to the pack, front of the pack. Trixie going for it, and he's going to look towards the inside of turn 1. But is it going to be a switchback for Legion? Might be almost side by side into Hamilton, but that's Trixie up towards the lead of the Grand Prix. Following behind is Pascal having to defend against Max, and there's contact between two drivers and a big snap again for Max, but he still holds on to it. And I think Legion's going to go for a very risky overtake into Mansell, but he decides to back off in the end. But still, no bad contact so far of this race. A few ghostings, and Pro Jake moving up to the points. So that's good for Pro Jake, who, as a matter of fact, didn't even have a proper qualifying run. He only had 1 lap, and he performed when the time was needed. Trixie is running away to it, entering the straight just before Schumacher. A lot of corner names having Schumacher in them, especially around the Nürburgring. But now Trixie will try to defend Legion, because Legion, we don't even have the batteries open, so I do apologise for that, so we can see the battery percentage. But Trixie has got a little bit less battery, but I don't think that would be too big of a problem. Fastest lap goes for the XR driver, but no overtakes have been made so far. Fewer people are bolding for it, a few drivers are going for it, and that's contact between Tyron and Alexander Albon. No too severe damage, but opened up the door for Cristobal Reed into Hamilton, and he does a little bit more contact between all the those three drivers in the mix. Alexander Albon, Cristobal Reed, and Maddie. But Maddie's done a good job to hold on to that 15th place. At least 2 placements moved up. But of course, he wants to they want to get up higher. We'll go over to tyres just to see what everybody's on. Trixie, of course, going on the mediums, so that will not benefit him now, but he did what he had to do, get past the 2 Ferraris for VLS, and he's golden now. He will have the tyre advantage for a shorter period of time, but the 2 Ferraris, starting on those hard tyres, will now have the opportunity to go longer. But of course, it's all about strategy around here. We've got 35 laps of pure speed. And of course, the very important thing about this track, which a lot of people don't realise, is consistency is key. Now we go over to leaders, so we can see how far they are to the leaders and to the leader. And it's getting very close between Trixie. Trixie going a little bit wide, but doesn't matter for him. And nothing really being made in the back. And we'll go over to positions gained. We go interval as well, and we can see what goes on. On the run, onto Mansell, Project is looking to get past Brandux. And Thomas just holding position behind. He's looking towards to get a little bit of a sneaky move on Maddie. Is that one driver going off? A little bit of a laggy session, but there is a yellow flag, and that's poor Tyron, who has been spun but is still going. But still Trixie holding up that lead. And I think Max is getting very desperate to make a move here, since considering he is starting on that medium tyre, and the mediums will have to go first. We'll try to go as fast as possible. Of course, the tyre strategy at the moment is going to Legion, because they have the longer tyres. Now, good amount of boost, but I don't think anyone will have enough power to get past each other. We'll have a look further back the field. Project is getting very close towards Brandux. So Project onto the deployment, trying to make a move, not into Hamilton though, so it'll probably be possibly into Mansell, not Spring because it's too short now. FT Tyron has retired from the section, understandable after being spun, no point going forward. If you were a total ass, jackass, I'm not even going to say that, I don't want to upset FSR. But, still going at it. Of course there's a caution in Sector 1, but no need to worry about that, that is just a retired car. Now, Trixie is holding on to that. Of course he doesn't have the super battery, or the overtake mode battery, the powerful one. But still, he's holding a very good deficit towards Legion and the two courses. Now we'll go over to the a little bit wide for Trixie, so that probably could have hurt him a little bit. We'll move over to Legion, who might get closer and closer by the minute. There is a spun car, and that I believe is Thomas around. Moving back over to the top. Yeah, now Legion is getting very, very close towards Trixie. Into Hamilton. He's going to be a move. Yes, it is. He tries to look towards the inside, but no move is being made just yet. Going into Spring, that's a big wobble for Trixie. Just before they were losing a little bit of power. Legion looking towards something, towards Mansell, but lifts off to gain amount of battery. Trixie going off there. There'll probably be a probably a warning for the first offence. We can see between Maddie and Julian, VMV and another team, there is a big gap. Thomas, unlucky as he is in the back. Move over to the spectator camera. This is everybody's race so far. Everybody is keeping close to each other, so there's no pure dominance. But I think Trixie is trying to reserve their battery as much as possible, because the two courses are hungry for a race. When we go over to Pascal, who haven't got too much of a strain behind him, but I think moving over to Legion is getting very close. It is going to be a move into turn 1. Yes, it is. It's going into PK, Nelson PK, and that is a great move. But Trixie with the switchback and a bit of grip tries to switch back, but doesn't do anything. A little bit of a flick towards Hamilton, but I don't think that's anything. But the two drivers are getting very close, and Trixie is on side by side with Legion, and there's another car spinning, leg spinning, and that's a broken wing on that driving car. Moving over to Legion again. Our new race leader, ART Simon, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Probably corner cutting, let alone track limits penalties. Very tricky around the S's. Now following the straight just before Schumacher. Trixie does have... Legion has the better battery at the moment, but Trixie has very close call, and I think that Pascal is of course getting very, very close to Trixie, and I think those mediums have started to fall off. So, having to wait and see. Good launch away from Pascal for Trixie, but is it going to be enough? The battery is of course given to both of these two drivers, and let's see Pascal looking for a move into PK. And yeah, this is probably the golden opportunity for Pascal into Hamilton, but I think he'll try to wait for a move into Spring, let alone even Mansell. And he's got a good run, but I don't think the run is going to be enough, because Trixie is going to deploy that battery a little bit further forward, just because he doesn't want to be in a situation where Pascal can get further, because one driver gets him past already is Legion, and I don't think Trixie is going to give that P1 up just yet. A little bit of a snap for him as well, so I think those mediums are degrading too quick, and he'll have to start thinking about a tyre swap eventually. Overcut, and that's off as well. I think those tyres are a bit done now. The gap has started going quite far, and looking between intervals we can see it's over a second, so Trixie will not have that overtake or super good. Yeah, and he rolls into pits, realizing there's no point running on the mediums. It might be in a bad call, but fighting so much, trying to keep Legion away, has ultimately worn his tyres out, so he'll have to go for a pit stop. He's going to be dropping quite far back, but now looking on the camera, Emilio looking towards move into the inside of PK, but side by side almost, and Max still retains that podium position. A little bit of a flick again. Emilio going wide, and behind him even more fighting between Giuliani and Nate Bennery. Into Mansell, we'll move over to Emilio, and that's a 3-second time penalty for the driver in 6th, and quickest lap goes for Thomas on the hard tyre. That's impressive. This man has pace. Something's happening behind here. I don't know what that was, but Simon giving place, and Nate Bennery getting extremely close to Kudyayani. Yeah, I think he wants to get on with this, but Yanni has better battery overall, and Emilio will not have that boosted battery, which will be given to Max. And the driver to keep an eye on is, of course, Trixky, who is in the back now, but of course he did the pit stop. And Max is getting very close, but nothing too severe at the moment. AOT Simon battling with Julian, but Julian going past with the better hard tyres. I think the alternative strategy is working towards the driver's favour with starting on those hard tyres. But of course they will have to realise that the medium tyre won't last as long as the hard tyres for the second stint, which some drivers have already started. Trixie having to box earlier. Now we await and see. The two Ferraris, of course, running in a very stable position. Legion is leading the way. Pascal, they can actually get a good result here. Pascal just has to slow the rest of the field down, which he's not doing at the moment. He's staying with his team. Emilio running very well on those medium tyres. I think that setup is giving him the opportunity to run longer. But Max is getting really desperate and wants to get past now. I think he wants to start moving this race onwards. We can actually have a look a little bit at tyres. And there we go, for anyone wondering. Tyres are being checked out. Behind him though is Yanni, who's deploying their battery nice and early. Vinvi Bennery making a little bit of mistake, but I think that is ultimately team orders. Lay braking for Max on VMV Elliott. VX Elliott. Trixie, fastest lap. Just count it now. The other drivers are, of course, just trying to go as fast as possible, but keep an eye on degradation. Not a lot of that as well, but also other stuff. We'll have to have a see. It is in a boxing window now, so if Legion was boxed now, he will lose the lead. Or he will be undercut of Trixie. Possibly. Depending on the speed of that crosser. That moves being made. Trixie getting past Alexander Albon. But moving up forward, not too much pressure from behind. Don't see anything really going on. Possibly a move for Maddie. Maddie is a little bit further away from the two IRT drivers. Or the Red Bull and the IRT driver, FSR and the IRT driver, excuse me. Project running a little bit further behind. Trixie making another move, because I think those hards are really working in his favour. Cristobal getting away, and that's off for Crystal, and that is a 3-second time penalty for Crystal for going off track. Times. But Trixie is on the better tyre now, so we'll see how long it takes him to catch up. But we'll move over to Maddie, who is in hot pursuit behind. Is it going to be a move into a Senna? No, he's going to go nearly behind the Badrex. But he is going to try to look for something into Senna. And the Braddock's leaving the Rallyman move into just out of Senna. Simon IRT moving into the pits. And the Maddie and Braddock still going at it. Maddie trying to get the right amount of speed. It's going to be something in the PK, and he's done the move, and he is side by side, and he moves. Christopher Reese retiring from the session. He has DNF'd into the pit. So remaining are 15 drivers. Just bring it home, damn it. Still points. Max, ART Max, who is in contention for the lead, has received a 3-second time penalty for too many gaps to the lead. There's 7 seconds between Emilio and the leader, so that's the main call we want to have a look at. But also it's between Trixie, 13 seconds behind. He is getting closer, very close towards the leader. And that's Thomas receiving a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of track limits. I want to keep an eye on Yanni. Oh, Max going very wide there. This has opened the door up for Yanni. Both of the drivers going into the pits. They're into the pits. But one of them is on the hard tyre. What? No, but he is on the medium. Never mind. That means B&B Julian and Nate Bennery moving up a few positions. 2 drivers in the pits. All of them have followed up. All the medium drivers are in the pits. So I think starting on the hard tyre was the right call. But it's too late to realise now. And that's moved Trixton up to 7th. And a lot of the drivers have moved up, but the 2 in B&B Cadillacs are still staying with each other, with Maddie as well very close. Trixie as well, just 1 corner separates them all. So moving over to intervals again. Moving into intervals. Is it intervals? Yeah, it's intervals. Now it's the time. See here. Very close is the 2 V&V drivers and Maddie. This is where the battle for 4th will be commencing. I think those... he's carried those mediums a very long way. I think it's time to go into... No, he's not. He's still staying out. I think those mediums aren't too bad because his fellow teammate is giving him that extra deployment so he can catch up on the straights. But that is Elia into the pits. Cred to Nate Bennery for sticking out 14 laps on those hard tyres. I think he's also praying for safety car. Maddie on the better tyres all around now. Still 14 laps. So there we go, a little bit further away. And now into spring. Yeah, he's got a run on him now. There's going to be a move into Mansell. No, he doesn't have any battery left. Mansell. Few drivers in the back here. We can actually move over to the drivers who've just got on their hards. It's a little bit of a fake dive bomb move for Mr. Yanni. He's got IoT Simon behind him, so the IoT drivers are close to each other. But the main question is, when does B&B Nate Bennery depart? And he does it straight away now. Can't have a time temp penalty now. Trixie is now moved up into 7th. He's got Julian right in front of him, which is the perfect opportunity, if I'm honest, for Trixie to carry out a win here. But then again, those old those hards are a little bit older than anything. And now Maddie sets his eyes to get probably fight Trixie on those older hard tyres, but still, Maddie is a competitor, and competitors want to win. Just saying, I hope I get. What am I saying? I hope I need to start quoting stuff. Like when life gives you lemons, you get VLS, Pascal, and Legion. When life gives you Ferrari, you have a 1-2 in the game. When life gives you Ferrari in real life, you have both of them. Yeah, struggling. They're so back and then they're so not. Anyway, moving over to Trixie, who's getting very close to Julian. Julian's off the battery. Still same percentages though, but late braking for Trixie. Comes into the back of Julian. Elias is the quickest time on the hard tyres, which is very strange why those mediums aren't working as the same. But deployment goes for Trixie. All this slowing down Julian is helping the two Ferraris, but still 10 seconds is not too far away from Julian. We have a yellow flag, and that is a possible virtual safety car opportunity for the two coursers. If this stays on, they could go and change tyres possibly into the mediums and end the race there. A little bit far chance though to do so, but then again we did have Maddie or someone who did a long stint on those tyres. I think it was 15 laps for our fellow Nick Bennery. That is of course yeah, I think Legion is deciding to put himself into the pit to go for this win, which is the right thing to do. So now, let's see, is it going to be time for Legion? Is Legion going to beat Trixie? That's the main thing. Trixie's actually putting into the pits. I think Trixie's deciding to go on another set of hards. That's low grip mode. Now the safety car's ended. This has worked really well for Legion, who's just exiting the pits now. Will probably be beaten by Julian. Maybe Maddie. Maddie's also into the pits. Elia is also in. So Legion has calculated this exactly perfectly with the opportunity of that safety car. Trixie losing so many placements again, but we saw again he has the pace to catch that P1, but it's just when he decides to do so. He's in the points now. He has Pro Jake on those newer harder tyres as well, and Trixie will have to set his eyes behind Pro Jake because Pro Jake wants to make a move on Hamilton, but I don't think he's close enough to make a scent into the inside. Yeah, Pro Jake with a lot of speed into Mansell. He's going for it, and there's contact between Pro Jake and Trixie. Unlucky that will be investigated after the race. Trixie not leaving any room. Quite obvious since it is Mansell, but Trixie is a move which probably both drivers wouldn't end up in. They wouldn't complete the corner in those high speeds. But unlucky for Pro Jake, a little bit of a uncalculated move for him. Pascal on those 18 old tyres, and his teammate Legion needs to try to fight his way up past Julian, who is on those older tyres, so we keep an eye on that gap. And of course Trixie. Another driver to keep an eye on is Nate Bennery. He's going to go for something on Braddock. I think Braddock is deploying that battery like his life depends on it, but into the inside goes Nate Bennery, and wide goes Brandex, letting the driver pass with no fighting whatsoever, but he still has that battery on. Is it going to be moving to Hamilton? No, it won't be. He's not far enough. So that is Nate Bennery up one placement. Now chasing it. Young Corsa as well, looking for something into Mansell. Very uncommon move to go for an overtake on, only to defend, but still not something you'd go for. No. Anyway, enough about that. Julian has now got Legion all over the back of him, and I think Julian is going to realise that it's no time to fight him. He can slow him down for his fellow teammate, who's still on the 18 lap old hards. It's going to be, though, a move probably around the outside. No, it's not, because Julian is defending with his might. But that around the outside for around center or center corner, Legion makes a move, sticks it through in center, takes it around the outside, and he makes a move just before the final corner. Anyway, moving forward, Julian is not... yeah, he has given up to that, but he did fight for it, so it's cost him a little bit of time to Emilian. But those tyres are very, very old, so he'll have to think about replacing them anytime soon. And now, setting their eyes, Trixie probably want to make a move on Mr. SPG Braddock into those nice plays. Coasting to Mansell, Trixie. He's the highlighter here tonight. Give us some moves, mate. Give us some moves. And yep, there is Pascal into the pits. Into the pits goes Pascal. Legion will inherit that lead. It's going to be enough though for Julian to pass, but the main question is, does Emilio take it? Legion fastest lap. Inherits the lead, but the main question is, Trixie going to be enough? And I'm sorry to say to everybody who is rooting for Trixie, that is not going to be the case, because the longer he waited, but the amount of traffic behind would have absolutely crushed Pascal if he ended up behind him. But Trixie is of course not far away, and he's going to go for a move around the outside on Mr. Braddock. Braddock is going to hold on to it into Hamilton as well. This is actually great cinema fighting between these two drivers, but ultimately Trixie has made the move, and now sets his eyes for the next driver to crush. It's Nate Bennery, because I think Trixie knows he had potential for a race win. It's almost 10 laps to go, still a long way to this Grand Prix left. And he wants to bring XR, is it XR? Some glory, if he has the... Yeah, and we actually did miss this for Simon into the inside of Nate Bennery. That will actually slow him into Trixie, so Trixie has now got his eyes on Nate Bennery and Simon fighting for it very difficultly. And that is, oh my god, Nate Bennery into the inside. Very stupid move, but open up the door for Trixie. Now Trixie, battery deployment, onto the straight. Will he have enough? Yes, he is almost side by side towards Nate Bennery. And yes, he goes into Nelson and he almost takes the lead, and there's a little bit more contact behind, but I think Nate Bennery is still holding on to this. Nate Bennery, V&V, holds on to it, but the fresher tyres goes to Trixie, and that's an around the outside move for Trixie. What a good move into spring, and he takes it with ease. Good fighting between these two drivers though. Nate Bennery has Simon all over him, but Maddie opening the door. All that fighting opening the door to Maddie. And now going through the twisty, turny bits. This will not be an opportunity to make an overtake. And onto the I'll call this a Shoemaker straight. Maddie looking for something on the inside, lifting and coasting, flick of the wheel. But we move over to Johnny Corsa. It's very close to Matt. I think starting on that hard tyre really paid off, but we'll just have to wait and see, because as we saw with Trixie, that tyre fell off. But he's got that old hard, and that's contact between the few drivers. Maddie and Simon colliding, opening the door for Braddock, and there's a push from Maddie, but Maddie still holds on to that lead through Hamilton. Wide goes Simon, which probably opens up another opportunity for Maddie to make a move. Maddie's deploying with their life, And it's going to be another move, and Maddie into the inside of Mansell, pushing fellow driver off. And that's huge, and through goes Braddock, and I think Maddie's had really enough of this. And that's a huge amount of contact between Maddie, and that is going to be a huge investigation after this race, because I don't think Simon will preferably be taken out like that. Simon looking for a move towards the inside of Braddock's. And otherwise, nothing's really going on, except for Trixie just sitting there waiting with Gianni and Max for a possible overtake on these two drivers. Behind him is very clear. He's got no pressure behind. The only thing is in front. 100% battery. Trixie deploys. Max deploys. But it's going to be enough to catch the two drivers. Max, of course, going very defensive. Trixie's towards the outside. Into PK. Getting blocked by Gianni. I think this is strategized. Trixie, pedal to the metal. Into Hamilton as well. Is going to be a move now again from Trixie. Is that contact between them two? But that overtake around the outside, still holding on to it. Trixie is going to not let go. And he gets past just before Mansell. What a move from Trixie. He's really on fire this race. Around the outside for Hamilton and takes it into spring. And he moves up to 5th position. Now wanting to prove Gianni a little bit of confidence in time penalty. I think he's had enough of that. He's not accepting that. And that's contact between Max and Trixie. Could have been a close one, but Trixie is pushing pedal to the metal. He's not going to be held back by anything. And I think he's going to wait towards the straight so he gets the maximum amount of power. He is on the better tyre for the time being. He did box early, but I think Gianni is going to try to slow him down into Max. And Trixie, again, 100% battery. This will be pedal to the metal, boost on. Now we wait and see. Does Trixie have what it takes? Does he get the right exit? He is gaining, and he's gaining, and he's gaining. Gianni goes defensive. Trixie's going to go towards the inside. This is going to be a move. Yes, it is, into PK. Again, yet another move. But I think Gianni is still holding on to that into Hamilton. Yes, he is. But that is a move for Trixie up to 4th place. Now the only one driver who is settling himself into the battle between the Ferraris and Trixie is none other than Emilio. But fighting Maddie, holding off, trying to fight off fellow Max. And I think Max, with the unluckiness, is getting tired of this. BMB Nate Bennery also. Pro Jag is even a 3-second time penalty. Nothing good. Crystal Bit has left the session. And now the fresh air will be rewarded to Trixie, who will now set his eyes to Emilio. But I think the quarters have got quite good, far away. It's 10 laps remaining. I think Gianni is not giving up on that P4. Any placement higher than P5, let alone a higher position wherever Gianni stays, he wants to get one higher. Doesn't matter what the cost is. A few drivers have backed off. Nate Bennery. And is that going to be enough for Gianni? No, I don't think so. The yellow flag, no overtaking, which will screw Emilio up a little bit because he's not allowed to deploy certain points. Gianni is really pushing that because he's letting those tyres absolutely spin behind him. A few moves are also being made, battling as well behind. And Gianni still holding on to Trixie, but I think Trixie is more focusing on race pace, deploying the battery where it really counts. Gianni's just trying to get closer so he doesn't lose that super battery. But Maddie is getting very, very close to Nate Bennery. Nate Bernie. Nate Bernery. Yeah, Nate Bernery. And Nate Bernery not having any super boost, so Maddie will have to stay with him. And he is actually doing it in Senna. And overtake thingy is there. Lurk has left the session. But it's going to be Maddie's turn to make a move. In 6th. Battery's on all the way. But I think BMB, Bernie has the better battery so far. The other drivers have split up, and still it's Legion is controlling this race with his teammate in P2, Pascal. Started from pole. Move still to interval. Few laps left. Have I seen the new Spider-Man trailer? If you're asking me, no, I haven't. Maybe can take a look at that before I go to bed tonight. Yeah, I consider watching it. Probably do. Scouted. That's good. I actually like Spider-Man, but I've more or less watched the what's it called? I love the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield playing as Spider-Man. I need to re-watch those. You're gonna watch it with your mate on Sunday? Oh, nice. That's nice. Or next week. Oh, it's not Sunday for you yet? It's Sunday tonight. Here, of course, where I'm next station. Nothing really happening now, so Project is got overtaken past Thomas. Sunday's in the week. Yeah, it's Sunday tonight. Nothing really happening now, so comms will be a little bit boring, but we'll keep an eye out. Maddie's very close though to Nate Barney again, so hopefully we can see some action between these two drivers. Please. Also, owner, add this because we need some content. Commentator yapping about Spider-Man. I don't think... Nah, Maddie's not going to be close enough, but Stowe just before Nelson. Sloppy exit causing... but Maddie getting closer just before Mansell. So I wonder what striking distance is between these two. Moves being made. Julian going for it around inside just before turn. That'll be 6. No, it would be 5. Here comes 6. But yeah, good move for him. There's nothing really going on. We need to have a topic. We need to have a talking point. How's Trixty catch 3 seconds in 3 capsect? Huh? I don't know. Trixty is very quick. He is on the better tyres. Oh, there's a slide for him. Yeah, he slid. That's not good. It's only 5 laps remaining. He could get onto the podium here. Or Elliot will take this away. Trixty is really pushing. But those tyres are also degrading. And he's double Ferrari. Good stuff from Ferrari. VLS. They had this in the bag. I'm going to be honest. Legion did well. Very well. Pascal is also getting very close. I wonder if this is going to be a team order just to fight. Because Pascal has the 3-lap fresher tyres. But still, it's getting close. Elliot's far behind. And there's almost a corner between Trixty. And moves between Maddie and Julian are being made. So let's move over to these two drivers because going into Senna, into VMV Cadillacs are 6 and 7. clip that, admin. Just clip that. Just clip that before I'm saying 67. Yeah, Thomas leaving the session. And I don't think any moves will be made here. Yeah, exactly. And please have team orders and fight each other. This is getting annoying. Yeah, there we go, team orders. And that's Nick Bennery leaving Julian past to maybe get that additional little point. But that was close because that set the eyes to Maddie to possibly make a move. Yeah, that's also Nate Bennery off. Benny holding on to that, but Maddie making a move. So no more 6-7. No more 6-7. But yeah, that was a stupid move. Nate Bennery will have to push. Honestly, I'm bored, so I'm gonna go now. See ya. Have a good one, mate. It's a little bit. Yeah, creek. What was it? Creek. What do they call grasshopper creeks? Honestly, nothing's really happening. No one's really doing a move. Jolien, send it towards the inside. God damn it! Yeah, he's gonna go around the outside on Yanni. Yanni, less of a battery. Yeah, now Julian around the outside, gonna push towards Hamilton like what we've seen before. And Yanni still holding on to it. Julian into spring, side by side, going before the corner to Mansell. We've seen this before. This is very dangerous. Who's going to back out first? No one is going to back out first. But there's a contact. Julian been spun around. That is devastating. Johnny holding on to it, and Manny making a move into 5th. But that is so horrid. Julian's hard work all down the drain. And that is a 3-second time penalty for Simon. Yanni just pushing for it, but the stupid overtaking move. You can't go for it. It's better just to hold on for turn 5. The 3-second time penalty for Max, IRT. And still, Trixie is not getting closer to Emilio. I think Emilio has got this podium in the bag. Behind Yanni, Maddie. Jesus, man, come on, bring us some moves. It's a good fight, but we need some more action. Not taking each other out. This is not Demolition Derby. When life gives you EFES F1 round in whatever, I think I've lost it. Okay, let's start over with the quote. When life gives you EFES F1 round 3, but you get no action, it's sad life. But when, yeah, I'm losing it. I think I'm done. Time to put the towel in and quit. But besides the point, Trixie is getting very close to Emilio, but it's going to be the final lap, and Lee German started that already. But the two BLS Ferraris are getting very close. Yeah, this is 12 seconds ahead. Masterclass. And Trixie probably will have another lap. If he had 2 more laps, he'd probably got past 100%. But Trixie is pushing the little Alpine of XR to the absolute limit. A good podium placement would be good for a finish. But yeah, I don't think we'll have any strong moves. Ferraris are very close to each other. I think they're gonna not do team orders and just gonna sit. 12 seconds. What could go wrong? Are they gonna take each other out? Commentate the curse? Maybe. I think Pascal wants to have that P1. There's a yellow flag, and we've got Projog. Um, literally. Sorry, I was on comms. Sorry for that. Yeah, final lap. Trixie is very close to Emilio. Nate Bennery and Yanni going for it. I think Yanni, Nate Bennery is the pass. Into Hamilton, he's going to go for a little move. No, he's not going to try anything. Trixie, 3-second time penalty. Let's just hurt everything. No, it doesn't matter. I think a podium for Emilio will be set. Trixie pushing too hard and getting that 3 second. So. Yeah, and anyway, the two Ferraris are going to line side by side for this race. And a 1-2 turns into a 1-2 and they win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Legion takes it. Very close behind is Emilio, and he's done what he had. Trixie, frustration, rounds up in 4th. Up ahead, up behind, Maddie has secured that 5th position with Nate Bennery. And Yanni in 6th, 7th. Max in 8th. Brandux crossing the line. And that's Max rolling down a few positions. Julian in 9th. Max even further down. RT Simon just going past the cross line. Alexander Albon falling behind. But that is a 1-2 for VLS. Awesome stuff from VLS. ART clutching up in the last minute. Emilio takes that P3 and Trixie. Unlucky for him. That 3-second time penalty really destroyed his whole race, but a good result for the XR driver. And we'll go through the standings yet again for the Hungarian Grand Prix race results. Of course, everything will change. This is not the confirmed 100%. This is just the how would you say it? The primarium. No, never mind. Had front wing damage for the literal race, and at the end, why I was so slow. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, that is a good result for VLS, who ran up 1-2. Emilio for ARET runs in 4th. Trixie XR 4th. Maddie in 5th. Yanni in 6th for QDR. VMV Nate Bennery 7th. 8th goes to Brandix. VMV Julian. Good comeback though in 9th. Max in 10th. Simon in ART. Both of them in the points. Where it is, both of them in the points. Alexander Albon in 12th. Projig in 13th. Thomas in 14th. Lurk in 15th. Because they DNF'd. Lurk DNF'd. Cristobal DNF'd. And FSC Tyrant DNF'd. And that is your race, everybody. Huge shout out to VLS for winning this race with a 1-2. Did well in qualifying. Pascal was on pole though. And Legion took that. And that is your Hungarian Grand Prix round 3, everybody. Huge thanks for EFES for letting me commentate. And the short broadcast will be cut in a minute. Everybody remember to watch the commentary on Tuesday, which is the F2 divisions. More drivers. And we're actually entering, can't remember what race it is. I'll have to have a look now before I end the stream. It is none other than next round will be round 4 for Belgium. So it's no, Belgium was last week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was last week. So it's another week. It's Belgium and Spain, possibly. I think it's Spain for F2 tomorrow. No, it wouldn't be. Is it Hungary? 28th of July. Yeah, it is Hungary. I do apologize for that. So Hungary is round 5 for the F2 division. And that is it. Thank you so much, EFES, for letting me commentate. It's been a blessing. And I see you all on Tuesday, or whoever does commentary. And have a nice evening, night, wherever you're in the world. Have a good one. Bye.